I work for a consultancy company, Green-Jakobsen, but our clients call us partners. Partners in the efforts they do in building safety culture, in working with their people, improving performance overall. So we have our methods, we have our metrics. I would say that we're really good at asking questions. We're not active because we respect your timers, but we will be active. So asking questions that help people reflect. And these are the tricky ones. These are the ones that ask you to think before you answer. And these methods give us feedback of how your people, yourselves, even ourselves, think about safety, think about what it means to lead a change, think about what makes performance real. So we have data that supports our projects, and I was thinking of giving you a definition of safety culture, but I think that pictures are louder, and we can really skip a safety procedure to look good, and then get silly, and then you try to make it look like an accident. Apostole, I don't know if you have thoughts about your wife, something, but the more negligent you become, the more lenient to yourself, the more you think that people are not looking, then you're less conscious about safety, and you end up less safe. It's very, very simple. You tend to forget what safety means. So you're wearing a helmet, but truly you put at risk a lot of others. So talking about building safety cultures, there is a point where you need to really take the decision to start. And 80% of the companies we talk to, when we ask about what do you think about your safety performance, they say we're fine. I mean, safety culture is above average. Our KPIs are okay, so everything looks good. But this doesn't reflect what really happens on board and how your people really think and actually act about safety. So there might be indications like these, like skipping procedures, taking shortcuts. I'm sure you know about these things. These are the hidden ones, but they are generally accepted. That's a culture of negligence, accepting that it's okay to skip. So these indications could alert you. But there are also, we see companies who rank super great, 0 incidents, 0 accidents. But when you talk to their people, you can see that safety culture is not strong. It might be not there, so they might be lucky. 0 accidents, I mean, KPIs measure up to 1 point, but they don't give you the real perception of people about safety. So it matters how people actually behave. Oops. Here we go. So even if you have a company that rates great in KPIs, it doesn't mean that things are going well. We have seen companies who have a very strong culture based on our interviews, based on our methods. We can see that, we can hear people, but they score, let's say, 1, 2 incidents. And these ruin statistics, and they feel bad about it. But that's not the issue. They are on the right direction. So even if you are in the position of not doing well in KPIs, this should alert you to move harder, to work harder on this one. We can strongly say, I really subscribe on that, that the price of security is insecurity. The more insecure you feel, it means that you're alert. And there will be a point that you won't need to feel insecure anymore. So I believe that the biggest safety hazard is feeling overconfident and feeling that you are doing fine. Now, all these projects of change, changing culture, building new cultures on safety, they require all of companies' stakeholders to be involved. Very often we see that it's only the HSQE's department that is working on this one, and it sticks there. And everybody says that it's their business, it's their work to do. It's not their work, it's our work. So we really believe and we force companies to spread the message and give a work to do to everyone, from top to bottom, all ranks, on board, ashore. Now, what will be the biggest challenge in this journey of safety culture building? I would say the word is on top. It's the word start. Take the decision to start being serious about your safety culture. Because we all know the procedures, we all know what we are expected to do, but it's the behaviors that matter, and actually the collective behaviors of people towards safety. This is culture, collective behaviors, how everyone behaves on a daily basis towards safety. And it's not only on board, it's how you drive your car, even from simple stuff. So this is how culture is built, what is accepted between people, between collectivas, between your society, between your people in the company. This is also a sense of culture. Now, in order to make it more easy, we have tried to interpret what safety means, what it means to be safe in specific behaviors. This comes from our own research throughout the years, and we have managed to identify specific safety behaviors that have been adopted by more than 20 shipping companies in the safety strategy, in the learning, safety leadership courses, and so on. Because it's easy to talk to people directly and ask specific things to be done, not in a superficial way, but rather this and that. So sustainability is the hot term nowadays, even today. We will talk about this in the next slides, because sustainability is an extra mile. But it's really worth it, otherwise all the efforts you're doing will just evaporate. So if we are to get started, I would say be determined, take the decision to be honest, to face how your company works, how your people behave, and then stay focused on your agreed goals and be persistent. So where to start? A good start is measure where you stand. Watch your steps and measure where you stand. And this will give you the what and the whys. Otherwise, it's too general and too doesn't make sense, safety culture as a concept. It's too wide. But you need specific areas to focus on. So measure where you stand. Consider who will be the leader in this, because you need people to drive this. You don't want people who are not committed to your efforts to take the lead. It will ruin things. So what and why? Why are we working the way we do? And then you identify the areas that you need, that you're weaker. And you start analyzing the steps to move forward. So the how and who will take the step. The first, and the others will follow. But everyone will have something to do. So to move on from inconsistency to consistency, to drive safety as a company, as an organization, and not as an individual, it takes this first step to be honest and measure where you stand. And this is the first step in your ladder. Now, throughout the years, we have identified safety elements, let's say, areas that represent safety culture. And when you analyze this, you can identify, as a company, your weak points. And these weak points lead you to what we call development initiatives. So they show you where you need to focus more and what to prioritize first. It could be related to the general safety strategy, how we do risk management. It could be the type of training we offer, the topics like leadership, or even the methods. We talk a lot about CBTs, but how much do you learn by watching a 2-hour movie? You learn, but it's not the same as being active, or if there is room for reflection, or if there is room for socialization with others, of interaction. So there are different learning methods, and not all apply all the time. It could be part of measuring the commitment of your people. We talk a lot about executives' commitment. It's for sure something that needs to be prioritized, but you also need the commitment of the others. Because imagine the harm that an uncommitted rating could do on board. So think differently, reverse it. So based on the areas that we have identified, we start building safety development initiatives. And here comes the journey. So you're somewhere there after you measure where you stand, and you have a long trip. Is this for me? Yes? Okay. Anyway, I will be very, very short, because I didn't start that's from the previous one, I think. Can you, because that's, that's not my time.
Thank you. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.